What's Gucci, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Goonie Podcast. I am your host, Juanies. Today, I have a really special guest. Want to introduce yourself?
Yo, it's your boy Marco. Some of you may know me as Marco or that guy from Bound. But yes, it's your boy.
It's Gucci, bro. How you been? How's everything been so far?
Good. I mean, life's been a little bit crazy, but so far so good. I mean, I can't complain, right?
Yeah. I know you were at ComplexCon this weekend. How was that?
Yes, just flew in today, back from LA, but crazy. Mania is wild. I went to last year's. So last year was their first year.
Yeah.
This year was the second year, of course. And I guess the numbers, I guess last year they had 25,000 people show up. This year they had 50,000 people.
Oh, shit.
So it was cool. I mean, it was cool, but compared to last year and it being a little bit more personal and then going look like freaking flea market on the first Friday of a summer or something like that. It was crazy.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, Marco, he did mention Marco from Bound. I want to talk about that a bit.
Yeah.
Because I know you were in a previous group.
Yeah.
And then you went your way.
Yep.
And then with the first drop, when I first saw the design,
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Like, that's a dope design.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
Which one?
The hearts.
The hearts. Oh, okay. So I mean, like you were saying. So the previous group I was with. So I mean, growing up, I always had little groups or little try to start some type of team. I've always had a thing of being a member of a team.
Right.
You know, so I grew up. I went to West High, right? And there's nothing but gangbangers and everything like that. And I got that. They like to be part of their La Familias and everything like that. So
Yeah.
I like the same thing too. But I mean, your boy just wasn't repping like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I always had. I mean, younger. I try to do this thing called the entourage with the group of friends.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, being the only one out of 8 group of friends that wanted to start a brand. I mean, of course, it didn't work out, but like you were saying, so I was part of another group called Rob Culture.
Mm-hmm.
We did very, very well. I mean, just later down the line, we just couldn't see eye to eye.
Right.
Me and my partner we had 2 different visions of what we wanted the brand to be, and I saw it best for me just to break off and do my own thing, which started Bound.
Right.
But so the first logo we came out with was the hearts that you were saying. Honestly, there's this artist that I knew. There's a local vape shop called The Vapors. It was kind of one of the owners was a member of Breezy Excursion. If some of you know the Bay Area brands, yeah, San Jose brand. So he worked with them a lot, made a lot of their logos, and one thing he's known for is his little blobs. So there's little blobs. So I was like, you know what, I want to do something with a heart. Because of course inspired by HBK, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do something with a heart. I was like, what if we had a couple of these blobs create a heart? And I was thinking 3 blobs that form one heart, but he kind of took it in a different way, and he was like, he thought I meant 3 blob hearts, and so that's what he created, 3 blob hearts. And I was like, you know what, that's dope, let's stick it. And so almost any design has those little blob hearts in it, and a lot of people ask oh, are they punch gloves, are they tongues? I was like you know what, they're blob hearts, but I love when people ask because it means it catches their attention, you know.
Yeah. And I know it caught mine.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, I couldn't tell what it was.
Exactly.
I was like, Bound, and then I figured oh no, it's hearts.
Yeah.
It was just pretty dope. And to you, what does Bound represent?
So that's another question I get. So I get 2 questions. What the heck are those little blob things? And another one is what does Bound mean? And to be 100% honest, when I created the name Bound, it didn't mean anything. Me and my girlfriend were at a family party, and we were just talking about it. I was like, dang, I don't know what to name the brand. I got this logo. These are all my ideas. I just don't know what name to make it. And then she just came up. She's like, hey, how about Bound? I was like Bound. I was like, that sounds pretty dope. So so right off the back, it had no significance. The word Bound has no significance. But over time, it's kind of created its own significance. I wanted a name where people could relate to and kind of create it to mean to resemble something in their own lifestyle, which it kind of has. And later on, I want to do something once the name catches on a little bit more, where I could go and actually ask people, hey, what does Bound mean to you, rather than them asking me.
Yeah.
What it means, because what it means to me is whatever it means to you, type of thing, you know.
Right. Yeah. I know you've had pretty good success with it. Is there a certain route that you want to take as to drop certain drops?
I mean, so back before I started the LLC with Bound, and Bound was just like, I mean, another one of those brands trying to come up. Ideally, I wanted to do each season, just like any other brand, any other clothing name or anything like that. But it got expensive. I mean, of course, just growing up in high school and then graduating in high school and trying to get a stable job and everything like that. And having to pay all these people, these designers, because one thing people don't understand is I'm not a graphic designer. I know how to do some basic stuff, and a lot of stuff that I make, I do it myself. But I would pay graphic designers to take my ideas and actually like create them, bring them to life. So with that's expensive. Paying screen printers, buying stickers, the bagging. I mean, the whole thing's just expensive.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and you hope you could sell a lot of them, or you hope you sell like a good chunk out of them. And then it'll turn into those things where like you order 10 mediums, 10 larges, 10 extra larges, and all the extra larges sell, and everybody wants more extra larges. But you're like, damn, I just got these mediums and these larges,
Yeah.
So it got expensive. So I mean, I honestly I dropped when I could. When it almost turned like only like 2 drops a year, but they were like awesome drops, and they were like multiple garments, and they did really well. But yeah, ideally I wanted to do like season by season.
Right. Yeah, no, and how you said like some people don't understand like how expensive it can get.
Yep.
With ordering, because you said you don't know exactly like how much of what size to get.
Exactly.
And stickers can get pretty pricey and everything else.
Yeah, because you always get that guy that's like, hey, bro, make that shirt in black, and I'm a medium, order a medium. Like, okay, yeah, bro. All these people hitting up medium. You order like 20 mediums, and then those people ain't nowhere to be found. Like, oh, I'll hit you up on Friday. I get paid Friday. It's like, okay, for sure. Friday comes around. Oh no, bro, something came up, bro. God damn it, bro. I got. so yeah, it's always. I mean, almost every day you get somebody that tries hitting you up and with an idea, or like, hey, bro, do this, and I promise I'll cop it, and then you go forward and they don't cop it. You know? So that costs money,
Yep. Where do you like with your with how you're going? How do you find inspiration? Where do you go for inspiration for this?
So a big inspiration is the Bay Area. So San Francisco, I would always be in San Francisco, always be in the Bay Area, concerts, listening parties, going to other brands. They'll do like special release parties or something like that. So I always found inspiration. Bay Area music, of course, like I said earlier, HBK.
Yeah.
I got to shout out Collabs, shout out like Marty Grimes, G-Eazy, all of them. Their music definitely inspires me and motivates me. And also their style, the Bay Area style, is definitely different from any other style of fashion I've ever seen, even from LA or anything like that. So I got a lot of inspiration from that. And then recently, like you said, I just came back from ComplexCon, so going to LA, I just got a little revamp on inspiration and on their take on style and everything like that. So definitely just going out. I mean, we live in California. It's best state in the world,
Yeah.
So going to the Bay Area and LA, I mean, that's where I find most of my motivation.
I remember, I don't know if it was part of the video you dropped, like to introduce the Bound Investments LLC.
Yeah.
Is that where you spoke on how you're trying to get, how you see how the Bay has its unity?
Yeah. Yes. So I think I mentioned it in the video as well. But yeah, so one thing that the 209 doesn't have, or San Joaquin Valley doesn't have, that the Bay Area definitely has, and some people might disagree with me, but what I've seen from my experience is they have this huge unity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the clothing brands out there, they all support each other. I've been to multiple clothing releases or shirt release parties on like Haight Street.
Yeah.
And the guys from Pink Dolphin will close a little bit early just so they could go over to Diamond Supply and support them. Same thing, Diamond Supply or Black Scale will close their doors early to go and kick it with Pink Dolphin just to show support,
Yeah.
And same thing with the music. All the brands are supporting the artists out there. All the artists support the brands. The artists support the artists. It's crazy. Nobody's hating on each other or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I see out here. It's more like a competition, which in my eyes I feel everybody gets farther if they all team up together,
Yeah.
So that's one thing with Bound LLC I definitely wanted to do out here, put us on the map. Bay Area in the past year has definitely been put on the map as far as like clothes, fashion, and music and everything like that. And we're just 45 minutes away, man. Like we need to make our stamp too, you know?
Yeah, and when you said that about unity, I never like saw it that way until you said it, and then it just put everything like everyone there in the Bay does like fuck with each other.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Anywhere from clothing to music to art, like any type of art that's out there, it's all combined. And then I did like kind of step back and see like the 209, not a lot of people, it's really like a competition. And how you saying it, come up together and then they'll shine,
because there's a lot of people that are doing stuff, just nobody supports anybody, you know. And I mean, I gotta say, growing up, I mean, I was part of that. We see this guy drop a song like and even though I know like deep down it slaps a little bit, I don't know why I just didn't repost, you know. It's definitely different now. I mean, if I like your stuff, I'm gonna repost it. But no, so that's one thing. There's a lot of people doing some super cool stuff out here, but they almost don't want to affiliate themselves with the 209 or San Joaquin Valley or anything like that, simply because they feel like they're not going to get the support like they get in the Bay Area or anything.
Now that we start talking, or we mentioned about the LLC, for those that don't know, want to talk about the Bound Investments LLC?
Yeah, definitely. So Bound Investments LLC was definitely a break off from Bound, the clothing brand. So when I released that video that you're talking about, a lot of people thought it was a video of me like basically incorporating Bound, the clothing brand, which wasn't the case. I mean, of course, this is definitely going to help the clothing brand, but it wasn't exactly for the clothing brand. So what Bound Investments LLC is right now, what we do is we do direct-to-garment printing and graphic design. I have a graphic designer on our team, Ruben Seja, shout out. So with that, I'm now able to assist the 18-year-old or 16-year-old Marco of today, and help him create his brand. Same thing with local businesses, sports teams, everything. I'm able to print garments for them, and that goes from like shirts, from almost any fabric. What makes me a little bit different, or makes us a little bit different from your regular screen printer or a print shop or anything like that, is that we kind of have that insight in the fashion industry, you know, and streetwear and everything like that, and we know what you want, and we know what's in and everything like that, so we could kind of relate a little bit more. Like no matter what, I mean, if you're coming to me saying you're doing this for a clothing brand, or you're coming to me saying that you're that this is for your business or your restaurant or your baseball team, you're creating a brand. No matter what, it's a brand surrounding your business, you know. So that's one thing that we take in mind, and we kind of help you create that name for yourself, you know. But now related to Bound, the clothing brand, I kind of cut out the middleman. So I mean, of course, now I could do more recent drops. I could do drops on current events. So we had this idea. We decided not to go through with it, but we had this idea when Lil B got jumped. we're gonna make shirts that the next morning saying violence is whack, or something relating to that thing.
Right.
I mean, and now we could take advantage of almost like hype on that very same day, you know. Rather than me trying to gather my cash up and then contact my screen printer and that week to 2 week turnaround, and hoping it's still relevant enough to sell, you know. So we're able to do stuff a lot quicker now.
And one thing that I saw that's like dope is how you said you want to bring everybody together in the 209. How that's not happening, or at least not a lot of people. You're located in the 209. You can print in the 209. You're young. Anybody like in this area can, like, if they have an idea, like how you've been posting, you can directly print, and it's on the spot. It's right away. They can get it right away, so they can start promoting, and that's I was like, that's so dope. And because the big brands for screen printing, I don't know much here in the Valley, but I know that it's like San Leandro, Oakland, San Jose,
all Bay Area based, right? Or I mean, we do have printers out here, but the thing is, what say 3 years ago when I was creating my brand, I would look for the printer that could relate to me the most. So the printer, and those printers that could relate to me the most are, like, for example, I'll say Crucial Printing out in San Jose. They print for all the San Jose brands, almost all the San Jose brands. So they kind of know, okay, this is the style that they go for. This is what they want. We know exactly what they want. We know what to recommend, what garments to recommend them, what colors to recommend to them. So that's something that we don't have out here. So I was like, well, I mean, why not me? You know, I've definitely had my insight. I've had successful drops. I've affiliated myself with successful people. I was like, I know what the 16-year-old of today wants on their shirt. You know, and yeah, just helping them create something, helping them build.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. You said you have a graphic designer on your team. How did you come about with him? Or
so my graphic designer on my team is Ruben Ceja. We met in high school. He also had his own clothing brand, Royal Creations at the time. And it did well. It did very well. But I mean, over time, any drop I did or anything I needed help on, I would always go to him, and he would always be there to assist me.
Right.
Anything I know about graphic design that I'm able to do, he's the one that taught me. So I mean, him having on my team, he's like my secret weapon. You know, the guy is awesome. He's always there. I can rely on him. I consider that dude like my brother. And yeah, so it was only right. I mean, now that I have the LLC going on, to bring him on board and allowing him to profit from it as well.
Okay, that's good. One thing I have on here that I want to talk about is, do you ever get tired?
Oh, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, I get tired.
And the reason why I say that, bro, is because I see you're going to school. Mm. You got a job.
Yeah.
You got this going on, which is dope. And where do you find the time for that, bro?
So I mean, and I definitely, if I haven't said it loud enough, I got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
But I definitely do get tired. I mean, I think a couple nights ago, like I was like at like a breaking point, and I tweeted too. I pulled a Trump and I tweeted a little bit, and I said, I was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm just so tired. I think that's exactly what I tweeted. And because you're right, I do work a full-time job. I'm a assistant general manager at a store. I'm not going to say the store, but I sell suits. But so I'm an AGM over there, which is a 40-hour job. But plus, I mean, having that kind of job, I mean, they expect a little bit more from you, a little bit more time, a little bit more mental strain on you, a little bit too. I do go to school, but I don't want to sound like I go to full time. I take one class now. I did used to go to school full time, and so you say more part-time school. For this semester, I am taking one night class with my girlfriend. And then I have the bound investments. So I mean, there are days where I'm working all day, and then I go to school, and then I come home and I got to print, or I gotta reply to emails or anything like that. So it does get a lot. There's a lot of days I was waking up 6 a.m. and going to sleep past midnight, just to wake up at 6 a.m. again. So I'm tired. Yeah, I get tired, but I mean, you just have to. There's some days that you lose a little bit of sleep, but then it's gonna pay you back at the end. It's gonna pay you back, and there's gonna be those days where you're able to sleep in a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and that's good that you have that mentality, and just like keep yourself going.
Yeah.
Because since the first time I met you, I was like, God damn, this guy's got hella energy. Mm-hmm. He's just go. Yeah. And then just like knowing you, and I was like, God damn, okay, he's working, going to school, got this hustle going on. I'm like, that's what's up. And then, like, you're still young. You're young.
Yeah.
Most people would just want to party.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I don't see is at parties or anything. Like you're focused on what you want to do, and that's what's up.
Yeah, definitely. And it was kind of same. I bring that back to high school. My parents were very, very strict.
Yeah.
I mean, not strict where I felt like claustrophobic or anything, but like strict enough where, I mean, I wasn't going to parties out. I wasn't going partying every weekend and throughout high school. I think I started going parties like after high school. I didn't start drinking until I was like 19 or something like that. I think back when we met, that we I was like totally against like drinking too. Like I seen all these people like a couple years older than me, like, oh, hey, let's go get drunk, blah blah blah. Like, bro, like I just don't do that. I don't drink, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I remember when I met you, I was like, God damn, this guy's got hella energy. And then I remember I asked forgot who I asked. I was like, yo, this guy, I bet he's like life of the party. And then they were like, he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
I was like, no way.
Yeah. But that definitely changed. My girlfriend's sister took us out to Santa Barbara during Deltopia. And for those who don't know what Deltopia is, it's basically, it's I think it's like the last day before the last weekend of spring break.
Yeah.
And the whole college town is like just a huge party. And so, I mean, I popped the cherry. I started doing a little drinking, and ever since, I mean, if I'm at a party, I mean, I like to be thought of as the life of the party. I'm not going to be the guy that's sitting on the wall.
Yeah.
But it's just one thing. I mean, I guess just being conditioned not to go to parties through high school. I mean, I go to parties when it's time to celebrate, not just to go out and just to get messed up. And especially now, when I have so much responsibility now, it's almost like I can't. Uh-huh. And at the same time, being through high school and people knowing me as the guy that doesn't drink, they just don't invite me anymore, which I'm fine with right now. I got a little bit more done than them, you know. But yeah, I'm not against partying anymore, not against drinking anymore. But then again, I'm 21 now.
Yeah. And it's for sure. It's 100%. You got your priorities set. You know what what needs to be done first. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Get that done. Cool. Do I have time still to do this? And
of course.
Not a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, but I gotta say, like, I think last time I went out, it was after we did a drop with this photographer. You were able to meet too, Drew Olson.
Yeah.
Bay Area photographer. We did like a collab with him, where basically we produced his shirts, that he came out with, and it did really well. We also locked in a deal with Comcast, printing a couple shirts for Comcast that went really well, and then so we went to go celebrate. Yeah, your boy got a little messed up that day, but but I mean, like I said, we party when it's time to party, you know?
Yeah. And for those that are wondering, if you're wondering about the collab that he did with Drew, where could they find? Are you guys still?
Yeah. They should still be available on his site. Go and follow him on Instagram. It's @DrewOlson. And he should have the link on there. I think it's drewolson.com. I might be wrong, but if you go on his Instagram @drewolson, there'll be a link on there. And we have it available in black, in white, and the most popular one is the navy one. It's navy with a full color back and a full color front. That's the most popular one right there.
And I saw the shirts personally. The detail is, it's
with direct to garment printing and with the quality of pictures that he provided. Yeah, it prints out awesome. So that's the benefit with direct to garment printing versus like screen printing. Screen printing, it's almost impossible. Every different color is a different screen, and that's very, very, very expensive.
Especially with companies that will do setup charge.
Yeah,
per
exactly.
color.
Exactly.
That it builds
it's like
up.
It could go from $40 to $80 a screen, depending on the person that you're going through.
Yep.
And for something with so much color, that's like, oh my! If we broke it down in screens, probably like 10 screens maybe. But with direct garment printing, we're able to eliminate that and provide that same level of high quality.
Yeah. With all this that's going on, are your parents like hella supportive?
Yeah, they're definitely supportive. I will admit I did do the LLC process behind their back. So one thing about my parents, they're super supportive, and of course they want me to follow my dreams. But they definitely don't want me to fail. They don't want me to. A better way to say it is, they're always looking out for me.
Yeah.
So the way they want me to go through it, they want me to go to school, get my degree, go find a stable job, and save up money, and then maybe start a business, everything like that. Which the way I always had to think is if you have the ability to do it now, why don't you do it now? I don't understand of wasting time. We've lost a lot of close people in the past that right out of high school.
Yeah.
And it just, losing so many people, it kind of puts in your mind like, dang, I could go tomorrow, And I always said I do not want to die on my way to work. I don't want to die on my way to school. If God says it's time for me to go tomorrow, I want to make sure it was during me working on something I was building,
Yeah.
So So with that, so I definitely did the LLC process, and a lot of people think like I'm funding this, like I funded it all through like straight cash, or no. If anybody knows anything about direct-to-garment printing, it's a very expensive machine. So I mean, getting going to the bank and going through that whole process and everything like that, I definitely did behind their back, and I did want to tell them before I announced it through online. But then I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't want to deal with the argument, so I just posted that video online, and they kind of got the idea of it. But they took it better than I thought they were gonna take it.
Yeah.
And I think what kind of soothed them is that all the questions they had, I had answers for, and I had all my ducks in the row. Because like not only me posting it, like announcing to everybody, I was saying, okay, I got to make sure I have all my stuff in order. So if somebody asked me a question, I could answer it for them, or else it kind of ruins the legitimacy of it, you know?
Right.
So I think it kind of calmed them down once I said like, hey, I got everything. This is this is that. And then and I mean, ever since they've been definitely supportive.
So for sure, which one do you think you're gonna be focusing on more, or are you gonna try and keep it equal hand in hand with Bound itself and the LLC?
So definitely a lot of my priority is on the LLC, because the LLC basically controls anything below it. So later on I'll be putting Bound, the clothing brand, under it as a DBA. So that kind of explains the name Bound Investments, and they're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I print shirts right now. Because what Bound Investments is basically just getting ready for the future. So under Bound Investments, there will be Bound, the clothing brand, Bound, I don't know, maybe I want to open a strip club, Bound Water, you know, like anything else I want to do underneath it, I could put it under Bound Investments. But so my focus is definitely on that, just because there's more responsibility to it, and there's a lot of more stuff on the line, and it's a legitimate LLC.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely been working on Bound, the clothing brand, as well. But that's part of the reason why I've been definitely networking a lot, because I do want to bring more people on the team. Like you said, I have a lot on my plate right now, and I mean, just adding DBAs and trying to run the DB underneath it, that's a full-time job. And I would love to have people that I'd be able to delegate it to, and people that I could trust and have the same drive as I have. To help build a little bit more.
Okay. And how you said you don't know. How you said that you wanted you have Bound, and then LLC's the main dog. Yeah. Right. And there's gonna be other. Is there another thing that you've been having in mind that you kind of also want to pursue?
As far as business wise.
Yes.
Definitely. I mean, I get ideas all the time. I mean, every time I have an idea, of course, share with my girlfriend, and there's times she just looks at me, she's like, Mark, you want to do everything? I was like, exactly. Exactly. Let's do it. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to get into that medicinal area that California is coming up in. So I definitely want to get into that. I see a lot of future into that. Also tech. I definitely would want to get into tech. There was a time when we were trying to work towards an app that was kind of integrated with Bound Investments, but just with like online systems and everything like that, it's so easy that you don't really need an app, and it's just a fee that you don't need to go through. But I would love to do something with tech. Events. I always wanted to do events as far as like concerts or festivals or like something like a complex con type of thing. I always want to do something like that. So there's a lot of things I want to do, and I'm pretty sure there's more that are going to come up. But I kind of have to slow myself down a little bit and understand, like, hey, Mark, you just started something. You gotta at least build it up. You don't have to finish it. You have to at least build it up where it's able to kind of maintain itself a little bit, so you could then pursue and dedicate more time to other things.
Okay. So you said you find inspiration in going to the Bay. Yeah. And how California, you got two big, huge metropolitan areas. Yeah. The Bay and LA. Yep. Do you find yourself moving to LA later on? Or
hell no.
You want to stay?
After this weekend, no. Every time I go to LA, like, I love going to LA, and then once I'm there, I enjoy it. But then once it's time for me to come back home, I'm like, yeah, this is my area, you know. I mean, it's just definitely two different vibes. I mean, I'm not against LA or anything like that, but I mean, I grew up here. This is home, you know. And I mean, one thing, the driving in LA is horrible. I don't mean traffic. I mean the drivers in LA are horrible. Two things, everybody feels like they're somebody, you know? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but at the same time, I could stand in a group of people and everybody gets like 35,000 followers or something like that, or they're all actors, or they're all clothing brand owners or something like that. And I don't know, it's just there's a lot of I don't know, a clout gang, I guess you could say, out there, which my biggest thing is LA is popping. It's doing its thing. It's very successful. San Francisco is starting to do its thing. It's becoming very successful. I want something that's not created yet, and I want to help create it, you know? It's very hard to be an influence in LA when everybody's an influence. It's San Francisco. There's a couple more spots, but I think they're going to be filled by some qualified people. It's just there's not too much influence out here, and I would love to be one of the influences out here, you know?
Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah.
Is there any collabs that you want to go with as for Bound?
Yeah. I mean, so the most recent collab that we'll be working on now that I could leak a little bit is a local collab. It's going to be with Pop, Pop Boba. It's a boba spot out here. They actually originated in the Bay Area, as far as I know, and they brought one out here, and they kind of have that unity of the Bay Area where they're just supporting local businesses and everything like that. So I definitely reached out to them, and the owner was 100% down for it. So we're gonna be working on something like that, just a small fun thing.
Right.
But later on, I mean, I definitely every clothing brand that comes to me, or anything like Goonie Podcast that came to me to print shirts or to do anything with that,
and they came out dope as fuck.
Thank you very much.
I got hella compliments on it, dude.
That's dope. That's dope. So with that, like any brands, any business that come to me with like work or business or anything like that, I already considered it a collaboration, you know, even though my name's not on your shirt, or even though when you post about it, you're not going to post a Bound Investments X Goonie Podcast or anything like that. I still consider it a collaboration, because your name, how important we make your name is how important our name becomes, you know?
Yeah.
But later down the line, I would like to reach back out to those people and be like, hey, let's do a legitimate collaboration on a shirt, you know? And so yeah, so I can't really say like a specific person I want to do a collab with, but it's just a little bit of everybody, you know? I definitely want to do collabs with everybody who's showed me support, and yeah, just collaborate all around. You get a collab, you get a collab.
You get it. Yeah. Let's see. We're there. I know you got, what do you have after this? School.
That's the whole thing. It just, but we got a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's definitely how like my days have been. It's been like, hey bro, you want to do something? Yeah, let's do it. It's like, I gotta be out by this time because I got this or something like that. Yeah.
What are you going to school? Like, what's
business, of course. Business major. So I originally did it was business, some entrepreneurship, or business marketing. It was business marketing.
Okay.
Then I switched it. I went to apparel design and merchandising. I failed my art class. I don't understand how you could fail art class, like, or like not even how you could fail art class, but how can you get graded in art? You know?
Yeah,
like,
because it's.
My teacher showed me, she's like, oh, this is a self-portrait of myself. It was a piece of meat. She's like, if there's any raw meat, it's normally a portrait of myself. I was like, yeah, you look like fucking raw meat, you know? but as far as that, I mean, I would make a color wheel, or I would paint a picture or something like that, and I'd get like low level points on it. I'm like, how can you're showing me this like Picasso that looks like a 2-year-old like shitted on a canvas, and then you're giving me an F because my colors don't contrast correct or something like that. Like, doesn't make sense. Like, I never understood how you could grade art, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, after that, I mean, I took a fashion class, fashion like history class, did really well in. But then I was like, you know what? As far as I'm into fashion and art and everything like that, I excel more in like the business aspect of it. So then I went back to a business pathway. Instead of doing business marketing, I did business management. Yeah. So.
Dude, all props to you for that.
Oh, thank you.
I was in I took a business. What was it? I want to say it was administration, something like that, and it was me and Sergio.
Yeah.
We sat next to each other because that's when we had our thing going on.
Yeah.
And so we're learning, and I thought I knew it. You know, I'm taking my test, felt hella comfortable. I'm like looking around, I was like, like me and him were like, bro, we got this.
Yeah.
And then I remember one day it was close to the period or that date where you could drop a class and it won't affect you.
Yeah.
We were like a week away from that, I think, or we were on that week, and I get my test back, or as he's handing it to me, he goes, in front of, like, he said it out loud, and I was like, oh, you motherfucker. He was like, so everybody, you know that date is coming up, and then he looked and was like, you might want to consider that. And I looked at it. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I put all props to people that are like full-time students and everything like that. I don't relate 100% to those people. I mean, and people get kind of upset with me, especially family gets upset with me when I try to clarify what I'm doing is different. It's not wrong. I'm not saying it's better than just going to school full-time, but it's different. And I don't know. I feel like if you want to get into school with me, I mean, I could definitely like talk all day about the different pathways to getting to success. A lot of people think it's school, and then there's a job waiting for you and this and that, which I see like, yes, school is important. I feel like education is very important, but I think you could get educated in multiple different ways besides just school. So
for sure.
Well, when I consider myself a student, I don't mean the math class that I'm going to tonight. I mean the questions that I go to that clothing brand owner and I go introduce myself and I talk to him. He teaches me a couple things, or the live streams that when I go on to Mega, the owner of Black Scale, and I'm just like blowing up the live stream with questions and he's answering them. I learned more from that than I learned that from me I'm going to be sitting in like a 2-3 hour class tonight.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And yeah, like with that, I was in Livermore. I want to say it was like early or probably midsummer.
Yeah.
And there was this winemaker. He doesn't grow his grapes. He buys grapes from local vineyards.
Yeah. And
they just come out with different flavored wines.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty dope. And he was telling me about how he, I asked him, I was like, are you going to pass it down to anybody? And he said he'd like to, but he doesn't have anybody that he would pass it down to.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, and then he was saying, he goes, honestly, like when it comes down to it, I'm going to pick somebody that's been in the field and knows it.
Yeah.
Opposed to somebody that went to school.
And read a book about it, right?
Read a book, got good grades, cool. But while you were in class just learning about it, this guy was actually in the field in our barn with all the chemicals going and doing the process. So,
and he's probably Mexican too.
Probably.
No, but no, definitely. And that's one thing. Like I said, I would never bash somebody that's getting their education. Right. But if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, you probably have to go to school for a couple years to get it. And I totally understand. But the thing is, I don't want to be a doctor, nor do I want to be a lawyer. You know, what I want to do definitely requires me to be out on the field and talking and networking and trying new things. You know, so it does get kind of upsetting when people don't understand that. Like, hey, I'm gonna get my education, but through school. But at the same time, what I want to do with my life and with my future, with my career, it kind of requires me to do a little bit of this as well, you know?
Yeah.
Now you're telling me, oh, your son or my cousin is going to school full time, just got his BA or got her master's or something like that. Awesome. And I hope they do they're very successful in their future, but they kind of need to, because they want to be a doctor or they want to be a lawyer or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's required of them to get those stuff. What I want to do, it doesn't require me to get my bachelor's or my master's. Would it help? Maybe. And would I like to have my bachelor's or master's put on my wall? Yeah, of course. But I'll get to it. But right now I need to do this, you know?
Yeah. And how you say being a student doesn't necessarily mean you going to school.
Yeah.
It's having questions to the people that are doing it.
Exactly.
And I see that because I see, like, in your snaps and your IG posts,
my rants,
in the Bay, you'll be going to the Bay constantly on Haight Street, hanging out with the guys. And that's one thing that other people aren't doing. And they're just, they're struggling, trying to figure out how to do something. You're out there getting yourself involved with the people that are doing it or can give you the answers that you need.
Exactly. Like, so I mean, I could be having a conversation that's with a guy that's has the same interest as me, and he's like, oh yeah, my teacher told me this, and my teacher said this, or a book I read said this. I'm like, oh yeah, well, the owner of Pink Dolphin told me, or the manager over at Black Scale told me, or something like that. And I think one thing that kind of motivates me too is when I look at like clothing brand owners, or even like a store manager of a clothing of a small time brand like that, or streetwear brand. I look at them as like celebrities, bro. I mean, like you said, I went to ComplexCon and I was able to shake hands with Cena from Pink Dolphin. But I was fangirling. Like, this is dope. I talked to Nicky Maples. He basically manages both the stores and he does projects behind the scene as well. He's like a higher level. He's basically in the office with Cena and Neiman and everything like that. And I was able to talk to him and everything. I mean, we've known each other for me just going in shopping and everything like that. But we ran into each other there, and I mean, something like that, just being able to say what's up to him. I mean, I go back and like, hey, Tiana, my sister, hey, you get that picture? You get that picture? Yeah, because I mean, I look at them as like celebrities. They're doing what I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So talking to that, and another story with that too. When I ran into Nicky Maples, I told him like, oh, what you been up to? And I told him I was like, oh, I started my company, and he was like, yeah, I seen that. I was like, what?
Oh, like, shit.
I know who follows me and who doesn't follow me, you know?
Yeah.
And that guy does not follow me. I was like, so I was like, dang. I was like, okay, I either popped up on somebody's Explore page on Instagram or somehow this guy found out. I don't care how he found out, but he found out, you know? So something like that. Like, I was like, oh, I played it cool, of course. I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Well, here's my business card, you know? I got back and I was like, hey, did you hear what he said? He said he already knew. Like, what the heck? Like, how did he know, you know?
Yeah.
So just like little stuff like that. Oh, bro, I fangirl. I was handing out my business cards to I didn't hand out as many as I wanted to, because I mean, I'm not just gonna just start handing like, hey bro, here you go, you know, to people like I just met. But like YMTK, another Bay Area artist, he's on the come up. I was able to give him a business card. I'm trying to think who else. I just ran into to a couple of business owners. I was able just to throw my business card at or anything like that. Okay. A lot of Uber drivers too. A lot of our Lyft drivers. They're asking, oh, what do you do? Instead of saying like, oh, I manage a retail store. They're like, oh, I own a company out in the Bay Area, and then I mean, they would tell me all their stories, blah, 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 and then give them business cards. So I don't know. We'll see. I might have a lot of Bay Area business. I mean, some LA business coming.
You'll check your emails and like, oh shit,
I know.
Pulling an all-nighter tonight.
Hey, I know. It's like, hey, this is Shauna from Lyft. I'm like, hey, what's up, Shauna?
Were you always into fashion?
Oh yeah, I've always been into what I wear and stuff like that. There's only one time I can remember that I didn't really care what I wore, and it was when I was in like my little car scene. I was into cars and everything like that. I had a '98 Subaru Forester.
Yeah.
It was a grandma car, but I turned that thing into a slammed out,
that was pretty car. Dope, dude. I remember we went to Frisco, or we went to the BART station in Pleasanton, and we hit a bump and just bottom down. You're like, oh, don't worry about that, bro. It happens.
Yeah, I know. And like, I mean, later on when I ended up getting my next car, I gave that car to my sister. And we put it back to stock and everything, but the underneath was all fucked up. Like, my sister had to pay a pretty penny on just getting everything back to normal, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that time in high school, that was the only time I wasn't really into clothes. And then I mean, every time I go back in. Every time I really focus on something, the clothes kind of like fade to the back slowly, but it always comes back. So, I mean, even when I was starting this LLC, I mean, jeans and a shirt I made, you know, I mean, still a little sauced out, you know, but then going to ComplexCon again and being able to get all the inspiration. Well, bro, I had my all red bomber jacket on. I bought some vintage frames, you know. I was saucy. Took my hat off, let the little gray hair strand just like fall down over my face a little bit. So yeah, definitely. I always get motivated. So yeah, I'm recharged. So I'm gonna be posting a lot of selfies on Instagram.
There you go. We're at that point where I know earlier you asked me what this thing right here is.
Yes.
So what it is a bunch of topics that one day before starting this, there's a podcast and they kind of already have like a pre-topic. Yeah. There's podcasts where it's like an interview. Yeah. Like No Jumper, shout out No Jumper. And so I was like, there's not really a podcast that has a random question for both the host and the guest.
Okay.
So what I did is I wrote a bunch of topics, very broad. It can go any direction. You may question it. You may have a story.
Okay.
You may have just an input on it.
Oh hell yeah! I'm getting excited.
So,
I'm nervous and excited. Okay.
So that's what's in this. I'll let the guest Marco pick.
Okay.
If here's the thing.
Okay.
If you decide to skip a topic, that's what happened.
I already looked. I was like, this is gonna make me do. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. So no matter what. All right. So anyone.
Yeah, you can pick anyone, and then go ahead and if you don't want to say it, you don't gotta. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't gotta say what you picked. Just say I pass.
And then you hand me the shot glass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got this one. Oh, I think we talked about this a little bit. I got bad drivers. I got bad drivers right here. Okay. So what do I say a little something about bad drivers?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have to say about how earlier we said you go to the Bay Area for inspiration.
Yeah.
Which means we're in the Valley and the commute anywhere from 40 to an hour.
Yeah.
Have you experienced bad drivers?
Oh hell yeah, all the time. I mean, especially like the tourists that are going to to the Bay Area, and I mean, I'm going in there to go to a specific spot, and we got the people that are like going like 15 miles an hour on the Golden Gate because they're trying to get that picture or anything. I'm like, bro, like I need to make a U-turn, like get out of the way. But I mean, like I was saying earlier, LA has some freaking crazy drivers, bro. I mean, even so, we stayed with my aunt out there. Even my aunt's kind of crazy, and like and I can't put all the blame on her because all the Lyft drivers that we had too, they were crazy Lyft drivers, bro.
Yeah.
And they all have this thing where they don't brake until they're right on the person in front of them, is like their ass. Like, I mean, like there's a lot of times I was in passenger, I was like putting my foot down, like imaginary braking and stuff like that. Just because like they were like coasting. There's times like they were like go, when you pass the exit, but there's still that little like center divider type thing.
Yeah.
They would that's still like a right of way for them, and then they'll still be turning. Oh my god, bro! There's how many times like I was like swinging back and forth and stuff like that. Yeah. So LA drivers definitely crazy. Bay Area drivers, I mean, I kind of got used to it when you're definitely in the city. You have to like be a little bit aggressive when you're driving. But nah, I don't know. I get nervous when I drive in LA just because of the other drivers. Yeah, I don't know. LA drivers are crazy.
Have you've had other people drive your car, or have you?
Those days that we be partying or celebrating, bro. Somebody have to drive the whip back home.
Or even if it's not your car, you're in another person's car. Like for me, when I'm driving, I know. All right, I'm going 40 or I'm going 50 freeway. I'll do 70, 75. I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
A bit more sometimes.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I'm in control of the car. Yeah. I know what I'm doing, obviously. And it's crazy to think that with Uber, with Lyft, we're literally putting our lives into other people's hands.
Exactly.
And when my friend had his birthday, or not birthday, he got married in Vacaville.
Yeah.
We were going to go, I ordered a Lyft, or might have been Uber, same thing pretty much, to take us to eat. Yeah. And it was a 10-minute drive. Literally just had to get on the freeway, go down probably 2 exits, and get off. This dude, we're on the second lane. And out of nowhere, like, he starts telling us, "Oh, you guys need a charger? You guys need this?"
Oh, no.
Just looking back, and I was busy on my phone, just like getting the directions, because he was saying that his GPS was a bit messed up. Yeah. But he knew where we were going. I was like, okay, well, I'm telling my friend, I'm in the back, way back of the Suburban. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, we're almost there. He's like, whoa. We looked up, dude. This guy's hands off. He's looking back, and the just starts swerving.
Oh heck no!
And we were like, oh shit, we were getting ready. Just go right off the road. And then he fixes himself. He goes, "Oh, maybe I should keep my hands on the wheels, huh?" Oh. And let's go again. It starts swerving.
Oh heck no!
I was like,
no tip.
Bro. And the thing was, he was enlisted as the black the blacklist, where it's like
Uber Black or
Uber Black, where it's like
Black,
where it's like fancier or a nicer car. Yeah. I was like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, heck no.
He gets off and it was a good guy. It was a good ride, huh? Now I gotta go pick up more. It was like, I'm like, bad.
Report this nigga is drunk or something like that.
Dude, that was crazy. And then it's just crazy to think how we do put our lives into like other people's hands.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to the Lyft driver, the last Lyft driver, the one that took us to the airport in LA, and he was telling me how he's had like crazy people like he'll have like adults like putting their like 15-year-old daughter in the car and be like, oh, can you take her to school? And he's like, no, I can't. I guess they can't, right? Because like he was like, I'm not gonna get pulled over by a cop, and the cop saying like, why do you have this 15-year-old girl in your back of your car? And I can't tell them her name or her last name or anything like that.
Right.
And then there's like he said, he'll get random people. He'll be off duty, just going out for like lunch or something like that, and a random person will hop in his car and be like, oh, you're not here for Stacy? He's like, no, I'm not even on. Like, what are you talking about? Like, but yeah, crazy people out there, bro.
Yeah. At the same time, I do respect the Uber drivers for letting random people that they don't know into their car.
Like I said, the same guy I was talking to, he said he only had to pull his knife out on one person. I was like, bro, I don't have to pull my knife out on nobody. He's like, yeah. He got in the car with the girls, and the girls were like, no, we don't know him. So I pulled my knife out because he put his finger in my face. I just put it to his kneecap and told him to get out. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, day in the life of a Lyft driver, too.
Yeah. When I went down to LA with the guys and the girls, we went to Hard Summer.
Okay.
We got a Uber to the event, and I was asking the guy, I was like, yo, so how long have you been doing this? I've just been doing it for a month.
Yeah.
I said, how was your first experience? And he goes, dude, I think I got one of the best first experiences. Yeah. Not being good, but just being crazy.
Yeah.
He got so what I didn't know is that, what's it called? When they're on, I don't know if it's welfare or something like that, like a certain program.
Yeah.
Where if they're somebody's in need of a ride somewhere to the hospital to get checked or whatever, the program will pay Uber to go get that person.
Oh, what the heck?
And so he got a call from I think it was a welfare, or it might have been, I don't know, something like that. He gets a call. He said, go pick up this lady from this restaurant and go take her to the hospital. It didn't, not much. So, all right, probably like a checkup or something.
Yeah.
He pulls up, and I think he said it was a McDonald's too.
Yeah.
He pulled up, and this chick walks out pregnant. Her water just broke.
Oh, heck
and she's ready to give the kid. Right. So she gets in, and he's like, hold on, let me put blankets because I don't want. Like your fluids all over my car.
I'm saying, bro.
And it was not leather; it was fabric seating. So that shit was gonna.
Oh, heck no.
So he said he put everything down. She got in, and the guy comes out, drunk.
Yeah. Gets
inside and let's fucking go. And the guy was tripping balls.
Yeah.
And he goes, bro, just calm down. Like, I'm trying to go as fast as I can legally because I don't want to get pulled over, especially with your pregnant wife that's about to pop a kid in my car.
Yeah.
And the guy's just like tripping, and he was like, they started just talking, trying to calm down the guy, not even the chick, the guy. And he goes, is this your first kid? Is this why you're tripping balls right now? He goes, nah, this is gonna be my fifth. And he goes, hold on. Like he was there at us. I was like, you're tripping this hard and this is already gonna be your fifth? Like, you should.
He's like, bro, I got bigger things to worry about than you right now, bro. I got a pregnant lady. This is my first Lyft, bro. You guys better give that 5 stars. Like,
yeah, for real. I was like, damn. I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I know when it first came out, I was like, oh fuck yeah.
They make good money. I work with this guy, and he majority of his time he Ubers, but he said he can make like 300 in a day. I was like, wait, like I mean, they're working 8-hour days. There's people that do it full time, but yeah, they make some money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I thought like, dang, like the days like I have extra time, I would Uber around. Yeah. But there's 2 things. I mean, one, I mean, I don't got no time anymore. But 2 things, I would have to drive like out of town to do it because I can't be picking up people I went to school with or anything like that. Like, hey, Marco, I thought you were doing Bound Investments. Like, yeah, I just Uber for a little bit. I'm on my downtime, you know.
Yeah, crazy. Have you ever had? You probably have in the Bay some near misses with accidents.
Oh, I've had. I'll say one accident. Basically, I was going to my boy's house in was it Cupertino? Concord. No, in Concord. Okay. And, he has a real nice house. His mom has a real nice house, so it's more than the outskirts of Concord, and it's right by a school. So around the time school was just getting out, it was me and my boy. We drove in our separate cars over to his house, where his house has a gate. So my boy parked in like the driveway before the gate, And then I parked across the street, and then the friend that we were going to go see, he had just got back from a haircut, so he undid the gate. He pulled his car into his like a little courtyard area. Then my boy pulled his car, and then I'm across the street. I was like, all right, it's my turn. And I like in the distance, I see like, oh, okay, there's this red truck. I was like, can I make it? Should I wait? Can I make it? Should I wait? I was like, no, I can make it. So I gun it. I was so focused on the car in front of me, I didn't focus on the cars coming from behind me. And as soon as I turned my steering wheel just a little bit and moved up just a little bit, Ford Explorer, I sideswiped me or whatever. 100% my fault. Of course, I didn't say sorry or anything because you know how they say if you say sorry, then you're kind of like admitting to
the fault.
Yeah. So I didn't say anything. The little Mexican lady comes out yelling at me. I was like, oh, are you okay? She's like, you didn't see me? Totally ignored her. I was like, oh, you're okay, and stuff like that. Her car barely got messed up. My car got my whole bumper and like all jacked up. So 100% my fault. Insurance took care of it, whatever.
Yeah.
But and then now recently, like you said, I don't go to parties too often.
Mm-hmm.
So one time I was like, yeah, let's go out. We go to a party or whatever. I come out and my car is like backed into. It has like a big old in the bumper, like it was. And and it's funny. It's so funny because when I parked the car, I parked on the side of the road. The car parked in front of me. I was like, for some reason, I locked onto their little hitch, their hitch on the back of their car. For some reason, I locked onto it. I don't know why, but whatever. Go and join the party. Come out, drive home, whatever. My girlfriend drove, and then I'm getting out of the car and I'm walking around, and for some reason, I lock right onto my bumper. I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, I was like, Mariah, I think somebody hit me, and it was a perfect ball shaped thing. It has a big old crack and a perfect ball shape, like the hitch on the car. I was like, oh hell no. But of course, I mean, I posted on Snapchat. I'm like oh, well, insurance will cover it, whatever. Go, and it was a little turn, so I was like, oh, whatever, I'll pay it, whatever.
Yeah.
I go to sleep and whatever. Wake up in the morning. I wake up, and the first thing that hits me, I was like, fuck. I was like, I got a $500 deductible full. I was like, hell no. I woke up and I remember I got up. I was like, and I was like, I lay back down. I was like, fuck. And had to get that fixed too.
Yeah, I remember. I got pretty lucky one time. I was at a parking lot over at Walmart, and it was on Halloween of Halloween last year.
Yeah.
Last year. Was it last year? Yes, it was last year. Because I haven't had the plates on my car for, I tried rocking no plates for a long time on my car.
Yeah.
Instead, I just had white out plates. And I'm pulling out. No, there's nobody behind me. No cars coming. Cool. Pulling out. And I don't know. I just hear a big thump. My car shifts. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I look. Well, because it was slanted parking, I pulled out and the lady didn't see me, and she pulled out and smacked me on the back left corner. Got out, and I just see a bunch of like scratches around my fender. I was like, fuck. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's tried taking off. I was like, no. Like, I got in front of her car, like, park. I want your shit. Like, park. She parked. She apologized. I was like, no, that's fine. But, like, you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Took pictures, got her information, called insurance. It was a weekend, so they couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Monday, I get a call. Hey, we're starting your report. Go take it into this estimator. They'll check it out.
Yeah.
And let you know how much the damage is.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I take it in, and the guy was like, all right, well, you have a $500 deductible.
Yeah.
And one thing is, like, I never knew, like, one thing with school, in high school, they don't teach you this.
Exactly, I'm saying.
So I was like, and this is my first time dealing with insurance.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what does that mean? And then he looked at me, he goes, you have to pay $500 because the damage was from just the pictures that he saw. He goes, we need to fix, get yourself a new quarter panel. Your quarter panels don't come painted. You got to get it paint matched. Then we got to make sure that your wheel is fine and nothing behind it broke.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Like, all right. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll pay the $500. And so when we walked out, he's looking at it and he goes, hold on. He goes, gets some like polish thing.
Yeah.
Rubs it on and just kept rubbing. And all these scratches I saw were very minor. It was just the clear coat that got scratched. So dirt got in there.
Yeah.
He buffed it out and he goes, I mean, you could say pay the 500 because there's little dents on the body line.
Yeah.
That if you want, we could fix. And I was like, no, that's fine. Like, yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. So then at the time when it happened, I was heated. I was like, man, like, dude, like, I want my shit fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but then after I was like, nah, that's fine. I called my insurance. Like, yo, just go ahead and close the claim. It's not even that big of a deal. I overreacted with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God damn, that was one thing. I was like, oh, you're not my car.
Yeah, no, I know. And the thing is, like, I mean, I'm always rolling around, got the top down, like bumping my music and stuff like that. But when I had that dent, like the week before I could get into the shop, and I had the down there, bro, I was incognito, tinted windows up, always just like going where I need to go and coming right back, not taking the long way home. Like, I don't know. Like I always say, like you can't stunt in your car if you got a big ass dent in it, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely incognito, but got that shit fixed. Got the car. They when they gave it back, the car was washed. I was like, oh heck yeah! I dropped all the windows, bumping my Kodak Black, you know. But yeah, no, definitely drivers are. I in the past I definitely am like a fast driver now, but it goes along with the thing. Like I got like shit to do. And so there's 3 things that are a waste of time. Driving is a waste of time. Eating, I feel is a waste of time. Like I wish I could just pop a pill and like it just like it puts a burger in my stomach or something like that, you know. And I think that's why I'm so skinny. Like I don't fucking focus on eating, and going to the bathroom is a goddamn waste of time. Like I wish I could press the button, like it just clears my bladder or something like that, you know. So yeah, there's other things because I got so much shit I got to get done, and like those 3 things I just wish it could disappear, you know.
Yeah.
But yep.
One thing though in the Bay, I used to be cool. Go to the Bay, shop or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember one day, and I would say like, yeah, man, it'd be sick to live out here.
Yeah.
I'd have like, and then got my car, went back over there, and then I remember seeing, in the streets, especially on Haight Street, I saw this one car, tri-parallel parking, bro, just backed up, tapped it,
yeah.
I was like, no,
never,
fuck. And then everybody there just kept going with their day like nothing happened. Like this guy did not just smack the car behind him and
smacked it. Yeah, no, I'm saying I've seen that all the time too, and like we're always looking, we're like, oh, is it gonna hit it? Is it gonna hit it? Is it gonna until it happened to me, I was like, damn. Like I even thought about getting like the little dash cams and stuff. So like, because if I would have seen the license plate of who did it, I wouldn't have to pay that money, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, dang, it was probably somebody at the party, got out, left, backed into my car, and then they were probably like, oh shit, what do we do? And they were like, well, let's cut out. And I was like, damn. I was like, I was the guy left with his dent in his car.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to talk about the shirt that I brung you though real fast.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. Yeah. Shout out Marco, man. 1 of 1.
1 of 1. So I literally just printed that before I got. I was like, I can't come empty-handed. But I was like, dang, I can't get them to just like the regular, you know. Yeah. So right there, it's bound. It's bound, but within bound is we got a little couple ladies in there. You know, you could call them Playboy bunnies if you want, but I'm not gonna call them that just for copyright reasons. But yeah, that's a 1 of 1 right there. And honestly, I think I'm gonna save that one for you. I'm not gonna print that one. I'm gonna use that logo, but not in a placement like that. So
I'm a 1 of 1. I'm gonna take a picture of this and I'm gonna place it in the middle of the screen so they can see the detail, right, dude. Because you can see the brightness, the highs, the lows on the colors, tones, dude. It's dope.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, appreciate that.
There you go, man. For sure. Got a lot of inspiration when I came back this weekend from ComplexCon. I was like, I got so many ideas. Like, let's make something new right now.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Thank you, Marco, for coming on the podcast.
Dang it, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead and introduce yourself, or not introduce, but pretty much just say where they can find you, where they can make business with you.
Exactly. Again, this is Marco from Bound Investments. You can find me on my personal account at Marco_XCVI, or you could go and give me a look on the Bound Investments at bound.investments on Instagram. You can go on boundinvestments.com, check out our site, kind of explains what we do. You can also purchase some gear on there as well, some Bound gear on there as well. Yeah, give that a look, and you'll find all our contact information. You'll be able to reach out if you need my phone number. Email's on there. You could reach out on email. We could, collaborate on a little bit of projects.
Hell yeah. And I'll also put all this in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, just hit that arrow down, click on the links.